Um, Welcome to my channel, Audit PA Tyrants. Right now, I want you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section, good or bad, doesn't matter to me. Good publicity and bad publicity is the same thing. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Watch the video. Leave a comment down in the commentary. I'm just doing a reaction to the Ryan Hinton video of the unaliving of the young boy Ryan Hinton. And I want y'all, aspects on the case yourself and tell me what do y'all think about this whole situation.
Where, if you think about it, police are looking for a stolen car. There's no way, nowhere in the world that these gentlemen can go. Like, just look at the space again. Like, look at this space. And I'm gonna get out of the car in a minute and do a wider lens view. But this is the space, the entire space where police corner 4 young men and say that one of them had a gun. So let's get out real quick and do a further examination of the scene. All right, peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High. This is Richard Taylor. I'm coming live from Cincinnati, where I had a chance to visit the scene where our young brother Ryan Hinton was murdered by the Cincinnati police. And we're going to examine this scene and see how close proximity it is, because from the footage, it looks like a much larger area. But we're going to dissect this scene to show you how this shouldn't have happened, and it definitely didn't happen the way the Cincinnati police says it did. So just walk with me for a few minutes, and we're going to break this down so you can understand how this couldn't have happened the way they said it did. This is the entrance place of this location right here. So if you see this little place right here, this is the place where Rodney Hinton Jr. and 3 of his friends were parked. It feels kind of eerie out here, if you ask me, because this is where they were parked. So you got to figure if 2 police or 4 police come, like, there's no way where they can go. Nowhere in the world that they can go. From my understanding, they were parked right here in this second visitors parking spot right here. And that is the space where they were parked at. And you see the 2 police cars blocking them in. But also, I'm going to show you the other unmarked cars in which they said they had pulled back. See the camera footage. I think one of the officers pulled right here, and I see that. And when I'm talking about that is one of the unmarked cars. If you see behind Ryan, there's an unmarked black car that pulled right there as well. So they had them totally blocked in. They had nowhere to go. That's right here. So I don't know if the officers came and blocked them in right there. I don't know how long has it been, but you got to think about it. Right here, close that down. From right here, you got 2 police officers who are coming right here. Listen, this is no one way in and one way out. So when they got them right here, they're already cornered. So you got the man run out here. I think one of the officers got out from about right here. One of the officers got out from about right here. And there was Rodney Hinton. You know, they're not saying whether he was in the driver's seat. So we see him in the video kneeling down right here. So the car is right here. So he had to either get out of the passenger side or the driver's side. Somehow kneel right here. Somewhere kneeling right here on this pavement. And looking at the officer, he's looking at the officer from over here. Look, Now, if you zoom in on this picture, a couple of frames later, you'll see him looking at the officer that is to his left.
Now y'all
So,
see, now y'all see clear as day where Ryan Hinton was kneeled down on the ground. What I'm tired of seeing is people lying, talking about Ryan Hinton had a gun in his right hand. Ryan Hinton fell on that concrete in that parking lot because he was shot by that officer that was on the right side of him, where they blurred the cop out on the passenger side of that truck. Where Ryan Hinton kneeled down in the middle of that parking lot, he kneeled down like that because he was already shot on his right side and he fell. They blurred the camera footage out because they wanted to make you think that because of the way that that camera footage looked while he was kneeled down on the ground that he had a gun in his hand. Meanwhile, the whole time he never had no fucking gun in his hand, right? He was shot because he was running. He fell and kneeled down on his fucking knees in his hand because he was shot. And when he looked over to the right, he was looking at that plainclothes officer who had shot him that they're blurring out on the right side where he was looking after he shot him. You can't see the officer because they blurred it out. Once he got shot, he got up and continued to run. But the way they got the video camera footage of it being so blurry with his hands on the ground, it makes you think that because that video footage is so blurry, he had a weapon in his hand. No, the fuck he didn't. He fell and kneeled down because the officer on the right side of him, Taylor House Publishing, shot him, right? And as he got up and continued to run, you will see in this guy's video that I'm doing a reaction to, shout out to him too. You know, I appreciate his videos and I appreciate you, my Black King, for walking through this neighborhood to show the people, you know, what you feel as though went on and to show the people how small this parking lot was. But what people need to understand is, you know, I'm gonna wait, you know, but anyway, he got up after being shot as he was running through that parking lot and he fell on his hands. He never had a fucking weapon, man. Stop with that narrative. In the midst of him getting up to continue to run, once he got on that concrete, the light concrete, right where the garbage cans were sitting at, this guy here, Taylor House Publishing, will show y'all the footage and pictures of the old blood that was smeared on that ground, you know, basically the blood that was dropping from his right side when the cop had shot him. That's why you will see in this video, well, in the other videos that this guy did, he has other good videos of the way he dissect them. And I appreciate you for that, you know, Taylor House Publishing. He shows on them videos that Ryan Hinton, as he was running between the garbage cans, he had his hand in the sling and then he had a hoodie on, right? But then you'll see him as he runs past the garbage can, he was already shot in his back. And they're lying, trying to say that he was shot. He wasn't shot in his back. Yes, he was shot in his back. And he also, in the midst of running through the garbage cans, he was still holding his right side. And as you can see of the video that this guy here that I'm doing a reaction to, when he slows it down, you will see Ryan Hinton grabbing you will see the blood on the back of his ass, you know, of where he was shot from the right side when he kneeled down in the concrete. You will see that he was already shot. That's why he fell. He didn't fall because he tripped and dropped the fucking gun. He fell because he was shot in the midst of running. That's how he ended up on his hands and knees on that motherfucking concrete in the parking lot. Stop with the narrative talking about he had a gun. And on top of that, these people in the chief is lying, saying that, you know, he had a gun, but they show you two different handguns, two totally different colors, no matter how you try to doctor it up and lie about it. They're trying to say that these two handguns was the exact same gun, not twins, not two different ones. It was the same gun. Meanwhile, they're two different colors, two different brackets. And as you can see, when they lie and say that he had his handgun and then they show you the handgun that was in the grass, don't know handgun, if you're running and throwing it, ends up being under the grass. The way that was placed by the cops under the grass. And why would a young nigga who they thought was out here into the streets, had records and all this other shit, why would a young nigga, aka YN, have a pistol, a handgun with an extension, right? But the extension is not connected to the handgun. YNs don't walk around with pistols like that who are into the streets and don't have no ammunition in that gun. They have that shit cock loaded and ready to go. So they're trying to say that it fell out of his hoodie. You can't get no motherfucking gun to fall out your hoodie that has an extension to it for the extension to fall out without you hitting that click to take it out, right? So stop with that narrative too. She also said that all of her officers said on the same police report that they heard when he was running, they heard his metal, meaning the gun drop and hit the ground. Lie. She also stated that there was no other body camera footage or no other footage of the incident. But when this guy right here, Taylor House Publishing, does this walk around, he's going to show you the end of that building. And you'll see up in the left-hand corner, there's a light, but there's also another camera up on the end of that building. But when he walks us through this footage, you're going to see that there's a sign in the bushes that said this property is under surveillance, under video surveillance. Any people that's coming on this property and you're trespassing, you will be prosecuted. So, and there was no way for none of these alleged other people, to get over these hillsides that this guy that I'm doing a reaction to is showing you. There's no way they could have ran over the hillsides. Them hillsides are straight down type shit. They would have died. So where's these other alleged, innocent young kids at? Where are they at? Let me know. Somebody let me know. You gotta dissect shit and you gotta go do your own research, because what the news will tell you, they lie. Their job is to paint you out white, black, Mexican, don't give a fuck. Whatever color you is when it comes to back in the blue. The cops, the police, the paramedics, the news, all these people are in cahoots of the same shit. So they all backing each other up, right? So stop with the lies. There is extra footage because there's a camera on the end of that building in this parking lot. I saw it, my own eyes. It also says in the bushes, this property is under surveillance, video surveillance. Any prosecutor, any person that's on this property, unwanted trespassing, you will be prosecuted. So that was the camera on the end of that building. But the chief lied and said there's no more footage of the incident. She's lying. She's covering up for her officers. Period. Let's continue. Simple as that.
Right here. So officers looking at him. So he runs
on that ground that he's showing us
between these trash
before
cans.
He gets through the trash cans. You'll see the blood he's going to show you.
He runs between these trash cans, and he starts heading right here. And this is where the police officer is at right here. This is the body cam footage from where that police officer who shot him. This is what he sees. Police officer runs and chases him down. Right here. So he's running. He's looking at the police officer, as we all see. And this is when the police officer shoots him. And I guess this
Look
is
how small his memorial is, though. That's the smallest memorial I ever seen in my life.
To the shots. And you see someone has put a memorial back here. And it was, but the police officer's thinking, like, where is he going to go? There's no way that he can go from right here, right? Because there is a steep cliff right here. There's a drop off right there. We're up here on a hill. That's why they call it East Price Hill. So, just to give you an example of how, like, he had nowhere to go. That is a large drop off beyond those woods right there.
Trying to tell y'all. So
I don't know what kind of I guess, excavation they've been doing around here. But this is the location right here that one of the police officers were. If you look at the video, one of the police cars are right here. And that is the police car right there behind Ryan. That is the one that is parked right where I was standing. The unmarked car. So evidently they came right here to block them in. Right here, make sure that they couldn't go nowhere. And you see the police officer get out of this car. And he's kneeling down somewhere right here where he, quote unquote, had it failed and picked up the gun. So somewhere right here. So this is what I'm talking about, where he's at. You see the door open, so there probably was an officer standing behind him, which we zoomed in the other day and saw a silhouette. And, you know, I feel that he may have been shot by that officer right there. And so this is, you know, and there we see once again the camera on that building right there.
Hold on.
Like a camera or maybe a light.
Like I said, you see where he showed you. If I could zoom in, I zoom in. On the end of that building, there's a camera. Let me see if I can rewind it back. Hold on. Let me see. Watch this. Hold on.
And so
there's a camera on the end of that building.
This is, you know, and there we see.
You see that light at the top part, but right to the right side of that, there's a camera that's on the cement part of that end of that building. That's a light fixture on the top of that building. But on down further on the right side, there's a camera.
Right once again, the camera.
Right there. Okay, I stopped it right now. Look further to the right and down. There's a white spot right there. I zoomed in, watched this video once, and I seen the camera. So there's a camera right there next to that top part of that light fixture on the left-hand top corner. But a little over to the right, down, you'll see that white camera, that white dot right there. That's a fucking camera. So for the police chief, you lying ass lady, for you to lie and say there's no more body camera footage and there's no more video recording of that incident, you're a fucking liar. You're covering it up. And you planted that gun on Ryan Hinton. And you try to say the two different guns was the same gun. And you try to say that he threw it. But meanwhile, no gun will be placed in the woods in the manner of the way you guys placed that pistol disconnected from the handgun. That extension should have been still inside that handgun. He's a YN. He's a young black man, right? So if he was allegedly so-called into the streets and a gangbanger and a thug, like y'all trying to put him out to be, but you were wrong because he doesn't even have a record, nor does his dad. And his dad also has a high school diploma and college degrees, right? So for y'all to try to paint that narrative, which is what y'all do to black people anyway, to justify the shit that y'all police officers do to us in the beginning, just to make them get away with the crimes, you know, right? If he was such that bad of a person, then why didn't he have a record? Why couldn't y'all find nothing bad on him and his dad, right? So y'all planted that gun on him, and then y'all put the gun in the woods in a whatever position y'all tried to show a motherfucker like me who can dissect shit, and I know what street shit is like, and I know what people do when they running from the cops if they have a gun on them. That gun that y'all tried to allegedly show that was in them bushes, disconnected from the extension clip, y'all planted that there. Period. Y'all planted that there. Simple the fuck as that. And they stalked that boy Ryan Hinton. The cop was on the other side of that garbage waiting for this little boy to run through there. He stalked him and hunted him down and murdered that boy.
On that building right there.
Looks
like a camera or maybe a light. Might not be a camera. But if you look at this sign right here, what does that say?
What that sign say, y'all?
No trespass. This property is protected.
Y'all see that sign, right? No trespassing. This property is protected under video surveillance. Any motherfucking body coming through that property that is unwanted or don't live there, is not on a lease, you will be prosecuted. That's how you know that that chief is fucking lying for her officers. Here's the proof right there. There is the fucking sign. He did a walkthrough. Thank you, Taylor House Publishing. He did a walkthrough. There's no way in hell you can't tell me that fucking property where he just showed the end of that building, where that camera was on the right side of that big light fixture on top of the building. There's a camera right to the right, down some from it. White camera. There's the proof to y'all. Remember, the chief said there's no other footage of that incident or no other body camera footage. There's the sign to tell y'all, no trespassing. This property is under video surveillance. Any motherfucking body caught trespassing, you will be prosecuted. She lied. She said there's no body camera footage or no video camera footage of that whole incident that day. There's the proof. What he just showed you was the camera on the end of that building. So who's lying here? Who's covering up for who? Keep going.
By video surveillance. Trespassers will be prosecuted.
Right.
They do not park in these two spaces on Wednesdays. So this is the space where our brother was like, they were back then right here. So when the police come in from right there, they said 3 others ran and got away. Right. So where did they run to?
Allegedly, 3 others. Where did they go? You can't
may have run here, but once again, it's one way out. They couldn't have ran that way.
Where would the 3 alleged so-called suspects run? You can't run nowhere. That they were blocked in, matter of fact. And there were multiple plainclothes officers. She lied again. The chief said there were 2 uniform officers. No. You will see in another one of his videos. Matter of fact, go follow Taylor House Publishing. You will see how he dissects the video and show you slow motion that those officers that were getting out of the dark trucks that pinned them in and hit the rental car. You will see that the officer that got out of the black truck had on blue jeans and a regular shirt. And you smacked the front of that rental car that this boy was in, right? Which means you damaged property that didn't belong to you. And you unlawfully ran up on these guys when they were just allegedly sleeping in his vehicle. So then why would you harass them and bother them? And it was said that they would sleep. If they was or not, I don't give a fuck. You had no right, no lawful reason. They didn't get called on. None of that shit. Y'all unlawfully detained and wanted to bother them, violating their rights, then ended up chasing them. They know what happens to young black niggas being cars and shit. They know y'all want to harass and fuck them up. So I would have ran too. But because you couldn't catch this young black man, you decided to shoot him in the midst of him running. That's why he fell in the parking lot. He ain't have no gun. He fell on his knees because he was shot on the right side. Period. Stop the bullshit, man.
And it doesn't look like they could have ran that way.
Where they gonna run?
That is nothing but
it's a hillside.
They did say they ran into the woods, but
a steep hillside.
Here is the officer who pulled up on this side. Pulled up on this side of the car. You see him running around the car. This gives me a better perspective because, and that's what I'm talking about. You see that officer who pulled out on the
right there,
right side, right there. At him. That is that officer.
He was stalking him.
Who pulled up.
He was waiting for Ryan Hinton right there.
Like there's a lot of space. So this officer is supposed to be chasing somebody else. He's chasing somebody.
Allegedly.
Supposedly. But all of a sudden he ends up here, right here. This is the angle. In a ready and fire position. Stop. And when Ryan comes through there, he chases them down.
Fuck all that. He stopped Ryan Hinton. He alive. He waited for Ryan Hinton, as you see him wait on the side of that garbage can right there. And Ryan Hinton continued to run this way. He didn't even look to the right of him to see the cop. Like, oh, he kept running. He didn't even see him. He was trying to get away. In a split second, when that white man said, he gotta go, pow, 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 pow. There was no less lethal, which is what they're trained to use before they use lethal. They were in the fear of their life. He was running away from him, and they couldn't catch him, didn't want to run after him, so he shot him dead. That's clear-cut case of fucking murder, bro. You shot that little boy down dead. You were not in the fear of your life. Your life wasn't in a threat. He was running from you guys, and because you couldn't catch him or wasn't trying to run after him to catch him, you shot him. Clear as day, cut murder. Clear as day, cut, dry, clean, cut, and dry, murder, motherfucker. Murder. You murdered that boy. Stop it with the bullshit, CSNBC, CNN. Stop. Quit trying to put folks' narratives out there on my peoples, right? Because I'm tired of it. And we're no longer going to continue to keep standing for you white Karens out there calling police on us, making false police reports, making police come out to the scene, guns drawn. Quit lying. We're not going to fall for it no more. We're not going to stand it. We're not going to take this shit no more. Right? Cut it out. Cut it out. We will no longer deal with the bullshit. We will no longer continue to keep letting cops unalive and kill our kids and our daughters and our grandmas and our uncles and our aunts. We are going to put back force against y'all. I guarantee y'all. Y'all think Ryan Hitton's dad did what he did to that cop, allegedly. Because where's the body camera footage of Ryan Hitton's dad, Rodney Hinton? Where's any of the body camera footage of that accident that he allegedly purposely ran into a cop that was retired? Where's any of the body camera footage of that accident from pull up to exiting? Where is it? Any of the footage? Where's any of the footage of y'all chasing anybody but Ryan Hinton through this parking lot before y'all shot him and he fell on his knees? Where's any of that footage of y'all chasing him? The other alleged 3 kids, because they wasn't suspects. Y'all made them into suspects, and then y'all lied and said that the motherfucking car was stolen, when meanwhile, the car lot that whoever had the rental in their name, they missed the payment, so the car lot put a repo out on it. And car lots don't put out stolen car bulletins. They put out repos. I called my car lot. I called mine, and I asked them, if I didn't pay you for 6, 7, 8 months, would you report my car stolen? We can't do that. You have a contract with us. We have to put out a repo. The cops will put out that the car is stolen, which is unlawful, which is what my car lot said. So if my car lot said it, I guarantee you everybody else's car lots are the same. They do not put out stolen vehicles because you have a contract with them. They will put out a repo because you missed the payments, but they can't put out that the car is stolen, because how's it stolen when you went there to sign a contract with them to pay them? It's stolen if you go on a lot and just steal it off the lot with no paperwork in it. That's stolen. They had a contract to pay every week or 2 weeks or a month. Can't report something stolen. We have a contract together and I signed my name on a dotted line with the promise to pay you whenever you told me to pay you. They put out a repo. So the cops lied and said it was stolen just so they can justify what the fuck they did to that little boy. Just cut it out, man. Keep it real, Taylor House Publishing, bro. For real, dog. They lied. Period. Where's the body camera footage of the accident when his dad allegedly ran into this cop? Then they're saying he wasn't the one that did it. There was a lady that was the driver in that vehicle and she killed that cop. Where's this lady at? Then I'm hearing the lady that did it, she's unalive too. So how can she speak for herself? What's going on here? Is this an agenda? Is this a murder-suicide and they unalived his son and then, something happened with this retired cop? Make this shit make sense. Fuck everything they talk about. Where they gonna go? Where's these other 3 alleged children that was with Ryan Hinton? They can't go nowhere. They can't run. They were all being chased and they were all blocked in. You see how small the parking lot is, y'all, right? So why would they run over bushes? That's a steep drop, like down on a parkway type steep drop, high as hell I'm talking about hundreds of feet high off the ground. Why would they run through them bushes? And they know the area they was in too. Where's these other 3 children? Because they're not suspects. Where's these children? Where's the body camera footage of y'all chasing them? Only body camera footage y'all keep showing us allegedly is y'all chasing down this little boy and murdering him. That's plain and simple. We can see it with our own eyes. Ain't shit that you can tell me that's going to make some news make me believe that bullshit, because I know the news is full of lies. The news ain't got nothing but Jews in it. The Jews run this shit.
And shoots him in the back. And see, that is the body cam from that officer who's standing there. But you see that officer right there behind him. So it just doesn't make sense. If that officer got out of this car, where did this officer come from to be lying in wait like that?
He was already standing there.
Be honest, there was
that cop was already standing there. Fuck the bullshit that they telling you, Taylor. That's why in the beginning the body camera footage was clear, but now all of a sudden everything is blurry as hell, so you can't really see shit. So that they can justify it and doctor it up and make it blurry so they can justify killing this little boy unjustifiably. because he was definitely unjustifiably killed. He was running away from them. He's no longer a threat. And as of running away from them, why would you choose to use deadly force? He wasn't a threat. Your life wasn't in fucking danger. You murdered that little boy, period. And you covered it up by planting that gun on him. He had an alleged gun with an extension. Young black dudes that are into the streets, they don't walk around with guns with an extension that's not inside that gun. So how did you find the gun disconnected from the extension in the bushes? And then you said there was another gun that looked like that, but they were two different colors. One was black and chocolate as fuck, and one was black and tan. Y'all lied and said those are the same two guns. How? How are those the same two guns? Please inform me. Tell me the truth. How? Where's the body camera footage, man? That's why when this guy that I'm doing a reaction to, he went to the motherfucking building to go get the body camera footage, and they told him that he couldn't do it. They weren't allowed to give it to him because it's still an investigation going on. No, bitch. Y'all didn't want to give Taylor House Publishing that motherfucking video camera footage of this murder because y'all know that y'all were in the fucking wrong. And y'all don't want to release it to the public, which is public information. We're allowed to go ask for body camera footage of an incident in our city and state. We the people, right? It's called transparency. There was no transparency when he just went to the building to go get the body camera footage of Ryan Hinton's murder. Y'all don't want to give it to him because y'all want to doctor it up and edit shit and make shit more blurry so you can get your shit justified and killing this little boy. Because it wasn't justified. You killed that boy. So, period.
No side shooting. Those were back shots. Pause. And so there was nothing, there was nowhere he could have went. I think my man, 3D Max, said he kind of flew over the fence here. I'm not sure, but we did see him go up in the ground. So go up in the air, excuse me.
He went up in the air because the bullets.
Where our dear brother landed.
There's no fence
God
right
bless
here.
the dead.
There's no fence right there for him to jump over.
Pick up the candle here.
He flipped in the air because them bullets made
our dear brother.
That's why.
But yeah, this is where our final resting place. They said they tried to render aid. So I don't know. So how did they get on this side of the fence? And mind you, once again, so they said, so where did the gun fall? Hey, where did the gun fall? At what part of this brush did they place the gun at? Right?
Did they place the gun? Look.
And that is where they placed the gun at, somewhere in that vicinity.
Come on, y'all. If he was running and allegedly had this pistol, why the fuck would that pistol be looking like it's placed there the way it's placed? And then you see the extension in that gun, right? The extendo at the bottom of this tan gun. But then they're going to show you this gun, a chocolate gun that they're trying to say is this gun. And the extension is not connected to it. In the bushes, they found the gun and the extendo in separate spots in this motherfucking bushes. Do this look like a gun that was thrown from this little baby, man? Perfectly placed under some bushes? The fuck out of here, man. They placed that shit there. They planted it.
But of course, if that gun landed, it would probably landed on the leaves. They try to place some scratches up there, but it would have landed on the leaves. It wouldn't be under the leaves, so it definitely looks placed.
At all. Wouldn't be planted under no leaves.
The gun fell. They tried to play. Looks like they tried to place it here. I got to go back and watch that film of where they tried to place the gun at. But
you can't
there is no way
they didn't place that gun there. You can't tell me they didn't place it.
From this little, like I said, this definitely shouldn't have ended up this way. Because you got 4 individuals in a car that's reportedly like this. Like, this is no more than, 20, I don't know how to estimate feet, about 30 feet from here to here. They assumed that Ryan got out of the car. Once again, I don't know if he was in the passenger side. He may have been in the driver's side. So he gets out, he runs. Officer gets out from over there right here. So he can't run there. So maybe he reversed his field. Maybe he just decided to stop and give up right here. Stops and give up right here. For what I understand, he laid the gun on the ground. And then he may have been shot by this officer right here. Again, it's an officer that got out of that truck right there. And once again, you see Ryan looking.
He's kneeled down. But see, I don't like what this guy right here, Taylor House Publishing, I don't like what you saying, bro. Respect your channel and shit, dog. Fuck with your content, but when you say he kneeled down and he dropped the gun and he picks the gun back up, that's false, bro. He ain't got no motherfucking gun in his hand, bro. He ain't even that kid, bro. He ain't even into that, bro. He's a good student. Great grades. Played sports for his school. He's not even that type of kid, bro. So to put that narrative out there to believe in these motherfuckers telling you when we weren't there, neither were you, to say that he had that gun in his fucking hand, that's bullshit. You helping them feed the narrative that this little nigga had a fucking gun in his hand when he didn't. This video footage is blurry for a reason, so that they can make shit longer and make shit look like something that is not. It's blurry so that you could think that there's a fucking gun in his hand. He dropped and fell because he was shot on the right side, and he looked to the right side of him, not the left. He was shot from the right side over there by that truck because he was shot, bro. Period. He ain't had no gun, man.
Looking over this way towards where the officer's hands pointing in another close-up picture. And there, because he's looking at this officer. And once again, you got to realize where the officers came from. The officers couldn't have come from nowhere but this side. There's no way the officer was already over there. You know, so you mean to tell me that in 6 seconds, Ryan gets out of the car, he goes right here, he stops, falls, trips, lays the gun down, and then he comes right here. But the officer, once again, the officer got out from way over there on the other side of that car. And he runs over here, and then the officer is already ready in position to shoot from this right here. And see, that's what I'm saying. There's an officer right there to the right, and this officer is already laying in wait to shoot. And if you look at this picture right here, this is after he shoots Ryan. So this is another.
Again, pay close fucking attention to this video he's showing y'all. The chief said that there were 2 uniformed officers on this scene, and that was it. 2 uniformed officers and you know, in the cars. This is not a uniformed officer. This officer got out of that black SUV in blue jeans and a black shirt. And you're startling up kids bumping a car that you didn't own, that they had due to being a rental. And you damaged a rental vehicle that was not your fucking property to do what you wanted to do, to taunt these kids, to violate their rights. And you bumped their car that they were in, damaging property that didn't belong to you. And the chief lied and said there were only 2 uniformed officers on this scene. Do this look like a fucking uniformed officer? Or does this look like plain clothes officer? Lie number 4.
Other officer's body cam. Right there. There's another officer's body cam. So that's one officer right there. Then you look at this picture. There's another officer in that frame, in that picture. So there's more than 2 officers that were on the scene and that were close up. And also you can tell by this picture as well that there's the black unmarked car. There's the black unmarked car with the officer right there.
Unmarked and uniform. Unmarked and plain clothes.
There's another view of the black unmarked car.
Not uniform,
So you
like
got
she said.
2 unmarked cars. There you see another one right there in that frame. And 2 regular cars that blocked them in. So this was a almost raid, and I'm pretty sure it looks like one of those officers were already laying in wait.
Right.
Here. I think that officer was already laying in wait. That officer may have been already laying in wait because they've already lied and said they pulled these 2 unmarked cars back. But during the video, and I'll probably play the video doing this. During the video, that cop was parked right there. Again, a black car parked right there and a black car parked right there. So those are 2 unmarked cars that were ready on the scene. They weren't pulled back. Unmarked car was parked right here. Unmarked car they got out of somewhere between these 2 or 3 visitor spots. And I keep hearing the door close over there. And then 2 plainclothes cars supposedly had blocked these cars from here. So you got an officer right there. You got 2 plainclothes right here. Then you got the officer who shot him parked somewhere right here. With all this little space, like think about it. Like this is a little space. I don't know who my man is right there, but this is a very little space. I mean, I hope y'all see how little this space is. By the way, I'm filming. Like this is a little space, and it gets even smaller when we talk about where Ryan's car, or the Leg's car, was parked at. So it gets very, very, very small. And there's nowhere to go. And so for this to happen as such, there is no reasoning for it. Once again, they keep saying that he pointed a gun at officers. We have looked at that video time and time again. We don't even know if it's a gun at the space that they said he was laying at right here.
There's some blood on the pavement.
There's a lot of scratches, so those are probably from like the dumpsters moving or something. And haven't really might hang around and try to talk to some residents. Okay, well that's maybe where I'm hearing the noise from. But he ran through here, and it's a little wider than the video suggests. As soon as he gets here, he doesn't even have, I don't know where he plans to go. Maybe he does know this area better than I do, but he's...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with this video, man. Y'all give y'all motherfucking input on what y'all think happened. I'm already seeing what the fuck going on there. They murdered that boy. They lied and wait. They laid and waited for him to come between the garbage cans, stalked him down, hunted him, and murdered him. He was not a threat. He was running from the police back to. They shot him in his back and shot him in his chest because they flipped him. He didn't try to jump nothing. There's no fucking gate right there for him to jump, dude. He flipped in the air on the video you showed, bro, because he was being hit by them bullets. He's a kid. He flipped from them bullets in the fucking air, bro. He was murdered, period. You seen it yourself. You showed the videos, bro. He didn't have no fucking gun on him. You just said the way that they showed that gun in them woods definitely did not look like it was motherfucking from him. It was planted there. So how did they get it? They planted it on him. He never had it. Make it make sense, bro. Come on, bro. Respectfully to you. How did they say 2 weapons that they claimed? One was chocolate and black, and that tan one you just showed on your video. How was those the same exact weapon? They're 2 different weapons. How did the one gun have the extension in it, and then you found the other pistol? They found the other pistol, and the extension is out of it. Young niggas don't walk around like that, bro. Cut it out. Clear-cut case of murder. The Chiefs lied and said there was no more camera footage, and there's a camera on the end of the building that you just showed. She also lied and said that all of her motherfucking officers wrote the same statement and said that they heard his gun hit the ground, where you seen him kneeling down. He ain't had no motherfucking gun. He kneeled down, not from falling. He kneeled down because in the midst of running, he was shot on the right side. That's why as he ran between them garbage cans, motherfucker, and he ran and was shot, he was still grabbing the right side in the midst of running through the garbage cans because he was already shot, and that's why he was kneeled down on his knees on the concrete. And those are blood splatters on that fucking concrete right there in front of the fucking garbage cans. Come on, cuz, like, cut it out, man. What y'all think, man? Facts. I'm done with this video. You know what I mean? It's at least 6 more minutes, but I don't even want to continue this motherfucking video. Look, y'all give y'all input. Put the comments down, like, share, subscribe, comment, press that notification bell. I'm going to continue to keep doing reaction videos. Show me some love, please. I know I cuss a lot, but I'm very passionate about shit like this. I got a lot of other stories too, though. But like, share, comment, subscribe, press that notification bell, man. Show me some love. Leave your comments in the comment section. Good or bad, don't matter to me. And I'm out.